everybody. It's another round with Miss Powell today. Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th. Definitely. Wednesday, April the 8th. While you get a piece of paper, get out a piece of notebook paper and your pencil, and today you're going to number to 14. I'm coming to make sure I'm videoing. Because remember how it didn't work the other day? And it's working. Okay, totally working. Okay, so number to 14, how are we doing? How's everybody been? Is everybody staying home? Being sweet? Getting along with your friends? Yeah, it's okay. All right. Hopefully Monday's assignment went well. Hopefully you were able to read the assignment on the Google Doc that I gave you and watch the video. I know the video on Monday was a little long. So when I was uploading it, my people who were helping me, my family, because they're smarter about tech than I am, they were like, Mom, this is long. So I know I'm going to try to keep these shorter, okay? Even though, I mean, you spend all day with me practically when we're at school. So what's 26 minutes here and there? Whatever. Anyway, today we're just going to review a couple of things. I'm going to give you a quick little addition to your success criteria from Monday. And then you're going to have a couple of little assignments. You may have already seen them. You may have already done them in the Google Classroom that should have posted early this morning. So you should have 3 things in your Google Classroom from me today. This video that you're watching, a little figurative language review. We're going to talk about that in a second, and some analogies that you're going to do. Okay, so you should be number to 14. We're going to start our time together with, I need music. I should bring my phone. Oh, no, I'm videoing on my phone. That won't work. Okay, well, I'll hum next time. Do you still know stuff? I know you do. Okay, here comes our sentence. Ready? All right. My brother and I are good students. My brother, I have the fan on and it's going to blow my paper. My brother and I are good students. On number 1, put the part of speech for brother, noun, verb, adjective, adverb, pronoun, interjection, conjunction. What am I missing? Preposition? Yeah. The part of speech for brother, next to number 1. Number 2, the part of speech for I. By the way, remember, we always capitalize the pronoun I. Part of speech, number 3, for the word are. Number 4, the part of speech for the word good. And number 5, the part of speech for the word students. Okay, number 6, 7, and 8, I'm going to give you 3 words. They have Greek and Latin roots in them. Using the Greek and Latin root, don't make up a definition. Use the Greek and Latin root to give me the definition of, on number 6, the word centipede. What is a centipede? Don't put like a worm. Got to use the roots. Number 7, use the Greek and Latin root. I'll go ahead and tell you that thought isn't a Greek and Latin root. That's just a word. You're using this Greek and Latin root, think about what it means, to define that word. Forethought. Okay? And number 8, I'll also say, again, purpose is just a word. Okay? No Greek and Latin root there. But the Greek and Latin root you're looking at is multi. So using that with the word purpose, what is multi-purpose? We have a multi-purpose room at school. Okay. On 9 and 10, your answer is either going to be antonym, synonym, homograph, or homophone. Quick review. Antonyms. You tell me. What are they? Opposites. Synonyms mean the say it, same. Homographs look the same. They are spelled the same, but they don't sound the same. Homophones sound the same, don't look the same. Okay. Number 9, hungry, starving. Antonym, synonym, homograph, homophone. So easy. Number 10, bear, bear. Animal, nothing on it, like barefoot. Okay, the next 3, 11, 12, and 13 are analogies. Pay attention as we go over these in a minute, because you have a little analogy activity that you're going to do, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But you're going to do some analogies for me today as part of your classwork from me. So pay attention as we do these. Pay attention to how I read them. The dots mean stuff, don't they? It's a certain way you read analogies. Number 11, first is to last, as up is to So you have to think about the connection between first and last. How do those go together? And then you have to do the same kind of relationship over here. All right, number 12. Read is to book, as is to TV. Read is to book, as is to TV. And number 13. Add is to sum, S-U-M. How do those go together? As multiply is to Okay, one more. Can you see it? Number 14. I want you to, on your paper, and spelling doesn't count, don't worry. Spell the best you can. I want you to name the 5 kinds of figurative language that we have studied this year. Remember, figurative language makes the writing more interesting. It's an interesting way to say something, and authors will use figurative language to make their writing more interesting. There are more than 5 kinds of figurative language out there. But remember, in 5th grade, we were actually going to study a few more, and I might throw those in, but we've studied 5, and they're the 5 ones really that we're supposed to do in 5th grade. You'll study more later. You'll study several more types in 6th grade, okay? But the 5 types of figurative language that we have done this year, list them all. I'll give you a second to do that. And then we're going to go over. Do you still know stuff? Okay, we're going to check. Okay, I'll give you 5 more minutes. No, not minutes, seconds. Because I just felt like somebody over there was saying, I'm not ready. And I'm like, okay. And we wait. Shh, everybody be quiet. Shh. That's the kind of stuff I'd be saying, right? If we were together in our classroom. It's okay, this is fun. All right, number 1, my brother and, if you get it right, put a check mark or a happy face. If you get it wrong, put an X or erase it and fix it. That's probably a better option. Erase it and fix it so you make 100 on everything, even though this isn't a grade. Okay, learning. My brother and I are good students. Brother, number 1, noun. You should have put a noun, or noun, the word noun. I is a pronoun. It takes the place of a noun, okay? I. Are, it's hard, don't put preposition. That's what everybody wanted to put earlier, right? Are is a verb. What kind of verb is it? It's a linking verb, isn't it? There were 2 kinds of verbs. There's an action verb, which you can do, and there's a linking verb, and we forget about those linking verbs. But linking verbs tell me what the subject, my brother and I, it tells me what they are or what they are like. What are they like? They're good students. What are they? They're good students. Okay? Are, linking verb. Number 4, good is an adjective. It describes, doesn't it? And it tells me what kind of students they are. Students, noun. And just as a bonus, is the word students a singular noun or a plural noun? Give me a 1 for singular or a 2 for plural. I can't see you. Plural. Okay. 6, 7, and 8. You got to use the Greek and Latin root to give me the definition of the word. Centipede, 100, centi, feet, P-E-D, ped or pod. Centipede, 100 feet. Not a worm. Don't put worm. Okay, 7. Forethought. I told you thought was just a word. For means in front of or before, like your forehead is in front of the rest of your head. So it means to think about ahead of time or to put thought into something before it happens. So if you're getting a gift for someone and you really spend some time ahead of buying the gift, thinking about it, you don't just go out and buy a gift, but you put some forethought into it. You think about it, thought, before you buy it or ahead of actually going out and buying it. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Number 8, Multi-purpose means many purposes. Making 100? Okay, good. All right, you had to do antonym, synonym, homograph, homophone. Hungry, starving, antonyms. Bear, B-E-A-R, animal. Bear, B-A-R-E, that sounds the same. They are homophones. They don't mean the same thing and they don't look the same. They sound the same, homophones. Okay, here comes your analogies, and I'll announce it again in a minute, but don't forget you have a little document that you are going to do for me, and you get to type right on it, and then you hit turn in. I'll talk about that in a second, but it's going to be, I think I did 15 analogies, okay? First is to last, antonyms. As up is to down. Those had to be antonyms too. Read is to book. I read a book. Blank is to TV. What do I do to a TV? I watch it. Read is to book, as watch is to TV, okay? Add is to sum. The sum is the answer to an addition problem. What is the answer to a multiplication problem? Product. Add is to sum, as multiply is to product. Because sum is the answer to an addition problem, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay? 100 so far. And then you have to give me the 5 types of figurative language that we have studied so far. So we have studied, ready to check them off? Simile, metaphor, check. Idiom, check. Hyperbole, not hyperbole, hyperbole, and personification. Okay? If you got all those right, put a big happy face at the top. Yay, go tell your people you're doing so great in 5th grade virtual learning so far. I want to talk about that figurative language stuff real quick because I'm hurrying, because this won't be 26 minutes this time, okay? I promise. So let's go over them real quick. You're going to need this information for today's assignments, okay? So simile. Remember that similes compare 2 completely different things using the words like or as. They compare 2 things that are completely different using the word like or as. And I put, the basketball player is as tall as a tree. Comparing a basketball player and a tree using the word as to make that simile, okay? I could say, he ran like lightning. So I could compare the kid, he, to lightning using the word like. This is telling me that that dude is tall. The one about running, that's telling me that that fella is fast. If he runs like lightning, he is fast. If he runs like a turtle, he is what? Slow. So figurative language makes it more interesting. Instead of just saying that basketball player is tall, period. That's kind of boring. Instead, you could insert a simile that says the same thing. It puts across the same idea. That dude is tall, but it does it in a more interesting way. Simile, compare 2 different things using like or as. Metaphors are kind of like similes, okay? They compare 2 completely different things, but they do not use like or as. A metaphor just says that something is something else. My grandfather is a walking computer. Doesn't say he is like a walking computer, because that would make this a simile. It says he is a walking computer. What does that sentence mean? What does that metaphor even mean? That the grandfather is very what? Smart. If he's a walking computer, he knows a lot of information, right? Or has a lot of information in his head. So a metaphor says that something is something else. It's still comparing 2 different things, grandfather and computer. Those aren't the same, but it compares 2 completely different things, and it just says that it is something else, okay? Hyperbole. You know I love a good hyperbole. Use it all the time. I'm so hungry I could eat 100 burgers. Well, you may be hungry, but you're not going to be able to stuff 100 burgers into your stomach. You're just not. You'll get sick. It's not going to happen. At some point after, I would say, about 30 burgers, you wouldn't be able to eat another bite physically. Just wouldn't be able to do it. But what does this hyperbole mean? That you are what? What's the author trying to convey? What is the author trying to tell you through this figurative language? That this person is what? Starving. Like, not just, I could eat something, but they are starving. And they use hyperbole to get that point across. I think we talked about one where it says that football player's foot is a mile long. Remember, hyperboles make you go, no, they're exaggerations, aren't they? So that hyperbole that baseball player's foot is a mile long means he has what? He has some stinking large feet, okay? His feet are big, but they are not a mile long. Not. That's an exaggeration. It's a stretching of the truth. It is hyperbole, okay? 2 more. Idiom. Now, remember, and I would refer you back to your reading binder, but sadly those are in Rock Quarry Elementary School. You're not in Rock Quarry Elementary School right now. It's okay. We have a list of idioms in our binders. We memorized and learned a whole bunch of idioms. Idioms are phrases that don't mean what they look like they would mean by the words in them. So if I say that baby is cute as a button, that's kind of like simile too, but cute as a button. That kid doesn't look like a button. So it means he's cute, right? But it's an idiom. If I say, oh, you are the apple of my eye, well, that doesn't mean you have an apple right here where you're supposed to have an eye. It means you are my favorite. Or if you say that test was a piece of cake, didn't mean that you were being graded on how well you ate a dessert, okay? It just means it was what? Easy, all right? So an idiom, the phrase looks like it would mean something. You mean that's not about cake? No, it means it's easy. So it means something that it doesn't look like it means. So I put, I'm tired, so I think I'll hit the hay. Now I'm not gonna go to the farm and find a bale of hay and punch it. It means I'm gonna what? Go to bed, okay? Idiom. Last one, personification. It has the word person in it. That's how I can remember it. Has the word person in it, and it's when you give human qualities, things that a human can do to an animal or object. And it's things that that animal or object could not do, all right? But it's things that humans can do. The chair groaned under the weight of all the boxes. Chairs don't groan, okay? Humans do. You might be groaning right now because this video is getting too long. But chairs don't groan. So it's when you give human or people characteristics to an object or an animal. Okay, so that's figurative language review, and we did a little analogy review. Now I'm going to what your tasks are for me for today and tomorrow, okay? You are going to finish, maybe you've already done it, your 5-paragraph essay on the quarantine of 2020. That's what you started on Monday, okay? So you had an introductory paragraph, you had a paragraph or have a paragraph about the changes, the challenges, and the positives, and then you had a conclusion. Remember I told you we were going to add a little something to the success criteria. Well, here it comes. You are going to look somewhere, and I don't care where, anywhere in your essay and find just two places where you can either insert a sentence that contains figurative language or change an existing sentence that you already have in there to have figurative language in that sentence. And it can be any of the 5. I would like for you to choose 2 different kinds. Like, don't put 2 similes. Maybe choose simile and idiom, or metaphor and personification. Choose 2 different kinds of figurative language and weave them in. You might put 1 in your introduction and 1 in your positives paragraph. You might put 1 in your changes paragraph and 1 in your conclusion paragraph. Whatever you want to do, okay? Just don't do them back to back, all right? Yeah, okay. That's what you're going to do to tweak your writing. Now, on Friday, I want your writing to be finished. I want it to be matching that success criteria. I want it to be lovely. Have your 2 pieces of figurative language in it. It's going to be awesome. On Friday, I'm going to put up a link for you to read your writing onto Flipgrid. Okay, so you'll check Google Classroom Friday and it'll have a link to the Flipgrid. It'll tell you the code and whatever it's supposed to tell you. And you will go into Flipgrid. You know how to do this better than I do. Have your writing there and just video yourself reading your 5-paragraph essay, okay? And once everybody starts to put those into Flipgrid, I want you to hop into Flipgrid throughout the weekend if you want to, or Friday evening or whatever, and listen to people's writings about the quarantine of 2020. It'll be interesting to see what all the different perspectives are of your friends. So read your writing, go in, and if you want, and this is in the directions that I put with the Flipgrid, you can comment on other people's writings. But here's the rule about commenting. We are only using positives, okay? There's enough negative stuff going on in the world. We don't need any of that mess. So we are going to uplift and encourage each other. So you are going to listen to how many. You can listen to everybody's, or you can listen to 2 or 3, whatever you want to do. But as you listen, you are going to find something positive to say about their writing. Maybe you caught the figurative language that they used and they did a good job and that was a good simile they used. Or maybe their hook was really interesting and you thought it was a very well written hook. Or maybe you liked the way that they had so many positives and it was things you hadn't thought about and it made you feel a little better because you heard them read their positives paragraph. So you can comment those things, but you can only comment positive things. If somebody uses a simile incorrectly, you're not going to point that out to them. That's my job, okay? You are going to only comment with positives, and you'll do that on Flipgrid. Okay, so you're going to add 2 kinds of figurative language to your paper. You're going to upload it to Flipgrid. You're going to comment on each other's Flipgrids. And then today, you've probably already noticed, and again, you've maybe already done it, you have 2 other little assignments for me. They're not going to take you 5 minutes. They're quick. One of them is a figurative language review, and I'm trying something because I'm learning to do a Google form, okay? So you click in it, and it's going to have it there for you. I think it's going to have your name on it, I think. And you click that, and it's going to open up, and it's going to have some sentences. I don't remember how many I did, but it's multiple choice. And so your choices are always personification, hyperbole, idiom, simile, or metaphor. You read the sentence. If it contains a simile, you'll click simile. If it contains an idiom, click idiom. And then you get to the bottom of it and you're going to hit the word submit. Okay, it's going to have the word submit at the bottom in purple, I think. And you're going to hit the word submit. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do not know what happens after you hit submit. I don't know if you then have to go up and hit that white turn in button again. Maybe look for that. Or if it just says you have successfully submitted your assignment, it might say that. But you're smart and you can figure it out, okay? But if it doesn't say like you've submitted, it could say turn in that little white button, and you'll click that. For the analogies document, you're going to click where it says analogies doc or whatever. Click, and I have made it so that you can type directly into the document. So you're going to get a list of 15 analogies, and it's going to review, it's going to give you an example of analogies at the top, and it's going to give you an example to remind you. And then you'll come down here to the 15 analogies, and there'll be the blank, right? In the analogy, you'll take your thing, cursor, clicker, mouse, whatever, and you'll click in the blank, and you can actually type your answer, okay? And then you click in the next blank. Does that make sense? And you type your answer. Okay, then there is going to be, when you get all of them done, there's going to be up next to the word share, where normally when you do a Google Doc, it would have a blue share button and you would share it to my email. Listen to me. Look at my face. Do not share it to my email. Okay? Next to the, and I don't know why I'm pointing here, but that's where in my mind, my screen is right there. Is it over here for you? Okay, anyway. Next to the blue share button, there is a white button that says turn in, and that's what you're going to click, and then it's going to submit it to me. Those of you that did the thing where I had you ask me a question back last week, it's the same thing, okay? A lot of you did not do that in Google Classroom. Boo on your face. Okay, anyway, whatever. I'm not mad about it. So you will do the document, click in the blanks, hit turn in, and that's all you have for me. You have the little figurative language form. That'll take you about 2 minutes. You have the analogy doc, again, 2 minutes. You got to insert 2 pieces of figurative language into your 5-paragraph essay. If you're not done with your 5-paragraph essay, you got to finish it, okay? Don't forget the success criteria, and don't forget on the success criteria, and that's from Monday to, maybe it's this way for you. Is Monday this way for you? Today's Wednesday. Tuesday, Monday, or Tuesday, Monday? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I gave you the success criteria on Monday, and you need to add to that 2 pieces of figurative language so that when you get ready to check your paper, do I have a hook? Do I have 2 pieces of figurative language, not back to back, not the same kind, 2 different kinds of figurative language? Go through that success criteria. When it is top-notch and perfect and you have it just like you want it, you'll upload it to Flipgrid, and then start listening in on your other friends' Flipgrids and see what they have to say about the quarantine of 2020. Last thing, and then we're going to go. Remember, you need to have a folder, or you need to have a baggie or something that you can put your writings in. When you finish reading that Quarantine 2020 writing and you put it in Flipgrid, do not throw that away. We are saving all of that because we are going to put it in our writing portfolios that are sitting in room 406 right now at Rock Quarry. I'm going to get those to you somehow, and you're going to put it in there and save it. Believe me when I say this is such an unusual time. No one's ever experienced it. This piece of writing that you're working on is going to be, I know this seems so strange, but it's going to be a treasure to you someday. When your kids or your grandkids say, God, what was that like? They won't believe it. Because if you'd asked me a month ago that things would be like this, I wouldn't have believed it, right? So you're now writing down your thoughts and you're writing down your ideas and you're writing down your experiences. And I want you to save those, okay? And I know as a fifth grader, that's hard to understand, but your parents, they can tell you that this will be something to hold on to, okay? So I want you to really take it seriously, and I want you to try your best, and I'll be listening to them on Flipgrid too, and giving some comments too, so watch for that. And what else? Reminders that tomorrow and Friday I do have office hours. You'll have a new video from me next Monday, and I think that's it. Okay, email me with questions. Let me know what's going on. I hope everybody's doing very well. I hope you're getting rest. I hope you're playing outside. And I hope you're staying on top of your Google Classroom. I know it's different. I know it's a lot, but you are brilliant and you can do it. I miss you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.